The past few decades have seen the emergence and rising popularity of the hip-hop genre. Today, we will look at the greatest rappers of all time, based on their content, flow, and influence of their songs, as well as the longevity of their music. Number 5. Nas. Also known by his real name as Nasir bin Aludara Jones, this Brooklyn-born artist began his career in 1991 after being featured on a track by the group Main Source. Nas has released 8 consecutive platinum and multi-platinum albums and sold over 25 million records worldwide. His debut album Illmatic was released in 1994 and is considered by many to be one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. He continues to make great music today, as his 11th album, Life is Good, was nominated for Best Rap Album at the Grammys after its 2012 release. Number 4. Tupac. Tupac Shakur was born in 1971 in East Harlem, New York. He began his career as a roadie and a backup dancer for the hip-hop group Digital Underground. His parents were members of the Black Panthers, which was reflected in the lyrics of his songs. Tupac was one of the most vocal participants in the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, most notably between the Notorious B.I.G. In September of 1996, he was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas at the age of 25. He has sold over 75 million records worldwide. Number 3. Jay-Z. Arguably one of the most financially successful artists ever, Sean Carter was born in 1969 in Brooklyn, New York. The first music he listened to that impacted him was some of his parents' soul music, such as Marvin Gaye and Donny Hathaway. He has sold over 100 million albums and won 21 Grammys, making him one of the best-selling artists ever. His albums Reasonable Doubt, The Blueprint, and The Black Album all had a lasting, significant impact on the hip-hop genre. He has the record for the most albums by a solo artist on the Billboard 200 with 13, and he's also had 4 number 1s on the Billboard Hot 100. He continues making music today at the age of 46. Number 2. Eminem. Marshall Mathers III is the only rapper on this list not born in New York. He was born in St. Joseph, Missouri, though he grew up mainly in Detroit. His debut album, Infinite, was released in 1996. However, he was criticized for his lack of a distinctive individual style. It wasn't until 1999 that Eminem finally made it big in the mainstream with his second album, the Slim Shady LP. Eminem is the best-selling artist of the 2000s in the United States. He has sold over 172 million albums, making him the number 1 best-selling hip-hop artist. His last album, the Marshall Mathers LP2, which was released in 2013, went platinum in the United States and sold over 3.8 million copies worldwide and won a Grammy for Best Rap Album. The album received high praise from both fans and critics alike. Number 1. The Notorious B.I.G. Christopher Wallace was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. His debut album, Ready to Die, was released in 1994 and pushed Biggie to become the main figure in East Coast hip-hop and helped to bring the style into the West Coast-dominated mainstream. Like Tupac, Biggie was very involved in the East Coast-West Coast feud. His loose flow, dark lyrics, and storytelling ability helped him generate long-lasting mainstream success. On March 9, 1997, he was killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. He was 24 at the time. 2 albums were released after his death, Life After Death and Born Again. He has sold 17 million albums in the United States.